Hello everyone and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to take a look at this knife right here. This is the QSP Jumping Jack, and this particular one is in the Desert Ironwood. And before I go any further, I would like to thank Dave Burge, who writes the Rough Edge EDC articles for KTSM, for sending this knife along. He let me borrow this knife to check out and do a review on. So a big thank you to him for letting me borrow this knife. And first off, right off the bat, those Desert Ironwood scales are gorgeous. I mean, just look at the grain on that and the color. Oh, I mean, yeah, I'm kind of speechless. I don't know what to say. I mean, those are just gorgeous, and they feel really nice too in the hand. The overall knife feels really good in the hand. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit, but just take a look at those gorgeous, gorgeous scales there. Look at the wood grain. Yeah, I think this material is just really, really nice. And the whole knife, though, is screw together construction with Torx bits right there. And right there on the tang, we have the Finch logo, which is kind of strange because this is a QSP knife. But this knife was kind of a collaboration with QSP and Finch, or at least one of the Finch designers is the one, I think, from my research, I believe one of the designers from Finch Knives is the one who designed this knife, and the name of the designer is Spencer, and I apologize, I might butcher this last name. His name is Spencer Marquard. Marquard? I'm sorry, I probably butchered that pronunciation, but I think he is one of the designers from Finch Knives, so this is kind of a QSP and Finch knife collaboration. And also the name on this knife, the Jumping Jack, I really like it. And this knife right here is actually a Coke bottle pattern, or at least based on a Coke bottle pattern. We have the swell at the end here, and then it kind of narrows to the middle and then swells out again at the end. So you can kind of see, if I set it down like that, you can kind of see the bottle shape. And it kind of tapers in and flares out at the end, which really the shape of that handle, because of that swell there and the kind of the indent, it just fits the hand really well. Like your pointer finger can go there, thumb can go there, and it just fits your hand. At least it fits my hand really well, and probably most other people's hands. Just the shape of that handle just really contours well to the shape of your hand. For the bolsters, we do have stainless steel bolsters with a really nice satin finish, and those bolsters are integrated with the liners there, and we have the back spring there, like that. We do have some nice fluting in the bolsters here, and the overall handle is rounded over really nicely on the bolsters there. We have the bolsters are kind of contoured, rounded over nicely like that, so again it gives the handle some shaping. The ends right here, like the back and the top, are pretty squared off, but that doesn't matter too much. It still feels really good in the hand, and there's no like it's still rounded over on the corners a little bit, so not really anything too sharp. No sharp corners or anything to get in the way. On the inside there, we do have I don't know if you can see it, but we do have a stop pin in there, so we do not get in the blade will not smash into the back spring there. And then right there we have the blade steel, 14C28N, a good mid-range to budget steel, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite steels. I really like it. It has a good amount of stainless to it and a decent amount of edge retention, easy enough to maintain as far as keeping the edge and sharpening, and also a relatively tough steel. And then we have this blade here, which what QSP is calling this blade, they're calling it a clip point, which I don't really see that. It's rounded over. So it's more of if anything, it's more of like a spear point or drop point, or maybe even like a modified spade blade. Yeah, not really sure what to say. I would call this blade either like a drop point, spear point, or modified spade blade. Not exactly sure why they decided to call it a clip, because it doesn't really look like a clip point to me. But there we do have the QSP logo right there, and a very nice satin finish on that blade right there. And then we do have a full flat grind. which actually comes down to a pretty good, pretty decently thin edge. And we do have the Finch logo right there. Because if we turn the knife around, the blade stock is actually pretty thick on this knife, and then it does taper really nicely actually towards the tip to give you still some good piercing with that tip there. But even with that really thick blade stock, it comes down to a nice thin edge, so this isn't going to have any problems with cutting through anything. It's maybe a little bit harder towards the back, but still relatively thin edge, especially considering how thick that stock is. And even though this tip is relatively rounded over at the front here, I still found it pretty easily to get like in a box or in some like packaging and cut it open, so the tip is still very pointy, at least pointy enough for most EDC tasks. And what's interesting is this is a completely ambidextrous knife because we have a nail nick on both sides, and the nail nicks are nice and deep, which I really like. And you have a half step. We do have a half stop on this knife right here, and it goes into that half stop really nicely. Good snap on the close of that blade. Good snap on the open as well, like that. Yeah, just it really kind of slams into that half stop really nicely, and then good solid close on the knife. And this knife is, at least I have been able to pinch it open, which is nice. I like having a slip joint be pinchable. It just makes it easier without having to use the nail nick right there. Yeah, good solid. And the pull on this knife, I've heard some people's theirs have been kind of like a 7. For the pull on this knife, I would rate this about an 8. Yeah, I think a good solid 8 on the pull on this knife, which is nice. I like a good strong pull. That way you don't have to worry about the knife closing on you. If it has a good strong spring on it too. I'm really having to push that blade in to move it, so I'm not worried about that closing on my fingers. Just a good solid contact with that spring, so the blade isn't going to be going anywhere. You really have to put a lot of pressure on that blade for it to close. Really nice. And another look at the knife there. Let's hear the snap one more time. Pretty good solid kick into the half stop, and then good loud snap. Then on the open, kind of quiet on the half stop there, but then good snap on the open right there like that. Let's get a wipe off of that blade there. And then they actually have, and here's the box it comes in, just kind of a very simple box with the QSP logo on it, some QSPknife.com. If you want to read any of this, just pause the video. There's some of the information on the knife. Blade, satin finish, stainless steel bolsters, desert ironwood handle, made in China, right there. And then on the inside of the box, we have, the wrapping and then the foam insert that the knife came in. And then also have, this is kind of cool, and we'll get to the specs here in a little bit, just kind of a little spec sheet with the knife, which is really cool. We have more information on the back here. And then we have this cute penguin sticker right there. And then we also have another QSP with a penguin there. And then have a knife day. So yeah, just some nice stickers that are included with the knife there. Let me grab the ruler really quick here so we can give some quick measurements here. We'll start with the overall length of the knife. So it looks like the overall length of the knife is coming in about 6 1/4 inches in length there. And for the blade length, it looks like we're coming in just about 2 5/8. It looks like, just shy of that. Just shy of the 11/16 marker, it looks like. So yeah, 2 5/8 inches of length on the overall blade length there. And then for the cutting edge, it looks like we're coming in about 2 3/8 for the overall cutting edge of the knife. So yeah, pretty decent size, not kind of falling into the medium knife category, I would say. I really like, this is one of my, especially for a single bladed knife, I really like the size of knife, and again, it just fits really well in the hand there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much. Oh wait, hang on. We could do a quick. Let's get the scale out here. We can do a quick weigh in on the weight here. So let's see. Looks like we're in grams right now. So it looks like we're at 99 point. No, sorry, reflection. 89.6 grams, and then we have 3.1 ounces. So pretty good weight on the knife. Not too heavy. Not too light. Feels really good in the hand too. Feels substantial, but not too heavy. And then how about one more final thing? I've got two more kind of Coke bottle patterns. So I have the Coke bottle from Rough Rider here. Just kind of thought I'd do a quick comparison between the two knives here. And then I also have this swell center jack, which is kind of a small Coke bottle from Case. Just kind of give you a look at the three side by side, just kind of compare the different Coke bottles. I thought I would do that just while I had this knife on hand before I sent it off. Yeah, there's just kind of a quick comparison between the three knives there, and we'll do a quick kind of comparison of the handles in the upright position there. Let me just zoom out like that. There we go. So I just kind of get to see those side by side to see the different kind of variants of Coke bottle knives there. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I had to say about this knife. It's a, oh wait, fit and finish. I didn't check the fit and finish, so as far as the blade centering, it looks really, really good. Pretty much right down the center, and as far as gapping is concerned, I'm not really seeing any gapping, maybe the slightest. No. I'm not really seeing any light pass through, but maybe if there is any gapping, it's just the slightest right there. Right there, maybe. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this knife. Just a good, solid knife, and I don't know, I can't really find anything to complain about. Just a good, solid knife, feels good in the hand, a great EDC knife. Yeah, just a good all-around EDC knife that's comfortable in the hand with a gorgeous, gorgeous handle material. But I think that's going to do it for now. Thank you again to Dave Burge for letting me take a look at this knife. Let me borrow it and take a look at this knife. I really appreciate that. And if you enjoyed the video, please be sure to go down and hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new knife pen and EDC related content from this channel. And if there should be a video popping up, another one of my videos popping up on the screen if you would like to watch that. Thank you all for watching. Keep your pens filled and your knife sharp, and I'll see you later.